There's this place in rural Canada that I grew up in. The locals call it Skinwalker Valley because the indigenous community often tells stories about Wendigo and Skinwalker encounters in the area. Many non-indigenous people have their own alleged true stories about these encounters as well. It's a strange place, to say the least. There's a weird vibe to it. Tons of ghost stories, UFO sightings, and much more. I won't get into all of that though. I'll just focus on my Wendigo and Skinwalker experiences. All of this happened when I was a teenager. My 4 friends and I were packed into a car, headed to a party out in the boonies. On the highway, it's nothing but empty fields of long grass for miles. It was foggy that night, and we were listening to loud music, singing along, laughing, and having a good time. As we went down a hill section of the highway, the fog got even thicker. We saw a large, weird-looking figure moving out in the distance. It looked unnatural. My friend who was driving said, "What the hell is that?" And we slowed down, pulling over to the side of the highway to get a better look. The fog was so dense, and it was hard to see much, but we could make out what looked like a large black figure with long limbs next to a small body of water. It very clearly had a white animal skull for a head. We all sat there, trying to make sense of what we were looking at. Then, our indigenous friend said, "Holy shit, that's a Wendigo. Drive! Drive!" We quickly peeled off, and he asked to be dropped off at home after that, visibly shaken. The second encounter happened at one of the parties. It was right in the valley, alongside the lake that ran through it. We had a bonfire going, music, beer. Everything was normal. Then suddenly, we heard a loud, blood-curdling scream that sounded like it came from a woman. We turned down the music, listening for a moment, worried that someone might need help. As we sat in silence, we heard it again. You could hear people whispering, "What the fuck?" And a group of us decided to check it out. We followed the sound toward the lake, and on the other side, could make out what looked like a woman with long, dark hair sitting by the water. A few of us called out, asking if she needed help, but she didn't respond. She just continued to scream and sob. Nobody knew what to do, and since she wasn't communicating with us, we decided to head back to the party. Nobody wanted to call the cops because, well, we didn't want them to bust us for underage drinking. The next day, we decided to go check out the area where she had been. When we got there, we found a mutilated deer carcass, swarming with flies, exactly where she had been sitting the night before. That place still gives me chills. I fully believe the legend of skinwalkers and wendigos after what I saw and heard about out there.